Recommendation on project timing. Some of this was all done with the intention of when can we do this project if we chose to do it. And there were a couple of parameters that we worked around. One is we wanted to work toward introducing this to everyone here at Shadowwood prior to them going home for the Easter holidays. So some of our schedule was predicated on the idea that we would present to the residents in March, which is what we're doing. April through October, if we were to proceed, we would take that time period to get the detailed drawings and specifications pulled together. That would allow us to do the competitive bidding, the firm cost estimate, the hiring construction manager, and also enable the construction to be done. And again, I repeat that what we're showing you in numbers today is simply budget numbers that were put together based on the drawings that we're showing you. And as we get into the program of competitive bidding, we would be able to get firm numbers so that prior to proceeding with the entire job, we'd certainly have those firm numbers rather than budget numbers. During this time period, we'd also go through the permitting process, and we'd have to find the right way to provide the necessary funding to do that job. That would be April through October of 2010. One of the reasons we chose October, that's when the budget basically is built and approved for the year 2011. April through October of 2011 would be the time period that this would allow us to do the construction. We think it's important that we do the construction during the summer months when the traffic is considerably less, and that would be the time period. If we do not follow the schedule that's shown there, most likely the project would be a 2012 project rather than 2011. And at this point in time, permitting and things like that take an exorbitant amount of time, so we think that April through October would almost be necessary to do that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Greg Lewis, and he'll talk to you about some of the advantages from the standpoint of cost justification.
I believe this slide indicates to you that it's our feeling that entrances definitely affect the pride of its owners as it relates to our visitors, our guests, and potential buyers. As you can see, my sense about street appeal does not start when a buyer just reaches the driveway of a home. It starts the moment they come through the entrance to a gated community. Beauty and elegance affects their potential pride of ownership as they consider where they want to live, and the more impressive their drive to our homes, the more inclined they are to want to buy. As Lou indicated, about 100,000 cars each month during high season drive through our gates. And for people who have not been beyond those gates, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. My sense is that a dramatic entrance really sets the stage for what lies beyond, leaving the outside world and entering a very special place, which Shadowwood is. Some of the statistics: homes with exceptionally designed, excellent landscaping, according to the Department of Planning and Landscape Architecture up at Clemson, can expect a sales price about 6 to 7% higher than equivalent homes with less appealing landscaping. The Society of Real Estate Appraisers: enhanced community entrances add dollar value and sales appeal to residential real estate. Specifically, the kinds of enhancements that we have been addressing this morning: plants, shrubs and trees, fountains, walkways, uplighting, arches, etc. So when you think about the wow effect of coming into our community, whether as an owner, you're bringing your guests, your family, or buyers, it's really a wow effect. Some of you have been through the entrances of Pelican Marsh, Mediterra, Miramar. It's that kind of entrance effect that I'm speaking about in terms of the wow effect. I really believe that it will lead to an increased value to our homes and the number of closed sales. The studies that I was able to draw upon, both from academia and professional societies, show these statistics. A number indicated that the increase in value of residential and commercial property can be anywhere from 5% to as much as 20%. The Society of Real Estate Appraisers indicated that about 95% of the appraisers responding believe that landscaping adds to the dollar value, and 99% indicated that it enhances the sales appeal of residential real estate. Smart Money magazine, back in March of '03, said, quote, "As the housing market turns softer," and indeed it did, "Americans are realizing one of the best ways to increase a home's value is to revamp the landscape. The article was titled, How to Add 15% to Your Home's Value. Let me speak just a minute about the last 5 years in Shadowwood. Closed sales in our community, the dollar range and the average dollar amount through calendar years 05 through 09. You'll see that the closed sales were the highest in 05, 119 closed sales, with the lowest being in 09 with 45. The dollar range of our sales in the custom single-family estate homes ranged pretty typically from about 2.4 to 2.6 million each year. The condo, carriage, and coach homes, 250 to up to its highest peak, which was back in 06 at about 320. The average of these dollar ranges in terms of closed sales for each year are shown on the right side of the chart. And you'll see that in 07, 08, those represented the highest years so far as the closed sales of 71, 72. And the lowest we experienced last year was 734. If one takes the average of this side of the chart, you can see that the average closed sales price is about $838,000. Taking a very, very conservative approach, notwithstanding the statistics that I gave you in the previous slide, that enhancements can result in increases of somewhere between 6 and 20%. Being a very conservative person, I'm going to say, let's just take an assumption that the enhancements increase the value of a home by only 1%. So if you take 1% of the 838, the result is an average value added of a little over $8,000 per home. Obviously, there will be a disparity as to whether or not you have a home in this range or a home in this range. But if you take the lowest of the condo projects that we have, 1% of $250,000 is $2,500. So with the expenditure that Lou indicated of each house being approximately $1,159, you're still well ahead of the game by taking 1% of this number. So my opinion, as not only an owner, and I live here, I'm not a carpetbagger real estate who's been brought in from the outside. My sense is that the enhancements are very, very positive and should be pursued, perhaps not in the degree of 1.7, but definitely something that we should consider as owners in Shadowwood. And Lou, I think you have some concluding remarks.
Yes, we're almost through. We're ready for the question and answer in just a second. I'd like to just read through the closing statements. We have the potential to be, or to be among, the finest gated residential communities in Southwest Florida. We have all the prerequisites with our geographical location in Estero, the Coconut Point Mall, 3 well-designed golf courses, a great tennis facility and program, Commons Club, including the private beach facility, and most importantly, a great membership base on which to build. We now own it, we control it, and it's now our responsibility to do what is needed to reach our full potential. The value and pride of our residential properties is ultimately reflected in the community's facilities, its people, and the image as presented. It is for these reasons the Landscape Committee recommends we proceed with introducing our entrance enhancement and visibility plans to our residents for their review, their comment, and their ultimate support.